Welcome to Technically You, where we explore technologies that sound like sci-fi but are happening right now.
Yes, we do. And today we have a very interesting topic.
I have to tell you, when I first heard about digital twins, I thought, okay, another tech buzzword. But then last week, Josh Bersin launched a platform where everyone in his company has a digital twin that knows their work history going back 15 years.
Yeah, I saw that. Viven.ai just launched in October 2025. Your digital twin can answer questions about your projects, schedule meetings, and even respond to emails in your style.
That's wild. But it gets crazier. Back in March 2025, scientists developed an AI-powered digital twin that can actually control its physical counterpart. A drone that learns from human pilots and then flies autonomously.
We call those intelligent acting digital twins, or IADTs. They don't just observe and predict. They think, learn, and act in real time.
So today we're diving into digital twins and virtual humans. We're talking about AI-powered replicas of people, organs, machines, even entire cities. This technology is connecting the physical world with the digital world in ways that are going to transform medicine, manufacturing, and maybe even you.
Buckle up. It's about to get weird.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What is a digital twin?
A digital twin is a real-time virtual representation of a physical object, system, or process. Think of it like a video game version of something real, except it's constantly updated with live data from sensors.
So, it's not just a 3D model?
Exactly. A 3D model is static. It's a snapshot. A digital twin is alive. It's continuously synced with its physical counterpart, monitoring performance, predicting failures, testing scenarios, all without touching the real thing.
Give me an example.
All right, imagine you're an airline. You've got a jet engine worth millions of dollars. You put sensors all over it, temperature, vibration, pressure, everything. That data streams in real time to a digital twin, a perfect virtual copy of that engine. The digital twin simulates how the engine performs under different conditions, predicts when parts might fail, and tests maintenance schedules without ever grounding the plane. You catch problems before they become disasters.
So it's like having a crystal ball for your equipment.
Exactly. And now we're applying this to people. That's where it gets really interesting.
Hold on. Digital twins of humans? Like copies of me?
Multiple versions. You've got digital twins in medicine, virtual replicas of your heart, your organs, even your entire body. Then you've got professional digital twins, like the Viven.ai example, that replicate your work persona, your knowledge, your communication style.
That's unsettling?
It's definitely a lot to process, but the applications are incredible.
Let's talk about medicine, because that's where this feels most immediately impactful. How are digital twins changing healthcare?
This is the most exciting frontier. Imagine having a virtual copy of your heart that doctors can test treatments on before ever touching you.
That's happening now?
Yes, it's happening now. Researchers are creating patient-specific digital twins, virtual models of your organs fed by real-time data from wearables, medical imaging, genetic information, and even your electronic health records.
So if I need heart surgery, they can practice on my digital twin first?
They can simulate the surgery, test different approaches, predict complications, all in a risk-free virtual environment. One company, ELEM Biotech, is creating virtual humans for drug trials.
Virtual humans for drug trials?
They generate thousands of virtual patients with diverse demographics and test drugs on these digital populations. It's faster, cheaper, and you can study rare diseases where recruiting real patients is nearly impossible.
Wait, so instead of human trials,
Not instead of, but in addition to. You still need real human trials, but digital twins can dramatically reduce the time and cost. They help identify problems early, optimize dosing, and predict who might have adverse reactions.
what about ongoing health management?
That's where it gets personal. Your digital twin can continuously monitor your vital signs through wearables, heart rate, blood pressure, glucose levels, and sleep patterns. It learns your normal baseline and alerts doctors to deviations before you even feel sick.
Predictive healthcare.
Exactly. For chronic conditions like diabetes or heart disease, your digital twin can simulate how different medications, diets, or exercise regimens will affect you specifically. Not the average patient, you.
That's personalized medicine on steroids.
And it's not just physical. Human digital twins, HDTs, model psychological factors too. Personality, stress responses, and cognitive patterns. The goal is a complete, multifaceted view of human health.
Okay, but there's gotta be challenges here.
Oh, absolutely. Data privacy is huge. Your digital twin knows everything about you, medical history, genetic information, and daily behaviors. If that's hacked or misused, the consequences are catastrophic.
Who owns my digital twin?
Great question. That's still being figured out legally. Is it you, your doctor, the company that built the platform? And what happens if an insurance company gets access to your digital twin and sees your high risk?
Yikes. Let's shift to the industrial side. How are digital twins being used in manufacturing and cities?
Industry 5.0 is being built on digital twin technology. Factories are creating digital replicas of entire production lines to optimize workflows, reduce waste, and predict equipment failures.
Give me a concrete example.
BMW has a digital twin of their entire manufacturing plant. They can test new assembly line configurations, simulate robot movements, and identify bottlenecks, all virtually before changing anything physical.
So they're debugging their factory in cyberspace.
Exactly. And it gets cooler. They're creating human digital twins of workers to optimize ergonomics, prevent repetitive strain injuries, and design safer workflows.
Wait, they're digitally cloning their workers?
In a sense, they use cameras and motion sensors to create digital representations of how workers move, where they experience fatigue, and how they interact with machinery. Then they optimize the workspace for human well-being.
That's either really thoughtful or really creepy.
Probably both. But when done ethically, it reduces injuries and improves productivity.
What about cities?
Smart cities are the ultimate digital twin application. Singapore has a digital twin of the entire city, buildings, traffic, utilities, and even population movement patterns.
An entire city?
They can simulate urban planning scenarios, test new traffic systems, predict infrastructure needs, optimize energy consumption, all before breaking ground on a single project.
So, if they want to add a new subway line, they can see how it affects traffic, property values, and pollution?
Exactly. And during emergencies, floods, fires, pandemics, the digital twin helps coordinate responses, predict impact, and allocate resources.
Okay, let's get back to the Josh Burson example. Digital twins in the workplace. Because that feels very Black Mirror.
I hear that a lot. But the Viven.ai platform is fascinating. Every person in the company has a digital twin that ingests all their digital activity, emails, meetings, documents, and messages.
So it knows everything you've ever worked on?
Going back years, Josh's twin knows stuff about him from 15 years ago. And here's the crazy part. You can ask someone else's digital twin questions.
Wait, what?
Josh can ask his CFO's digital twin, "What's our accounts receivable status?" Or ask his co-founder's twin, "What's your latest status on the XYZ project?" The twin responds as if it's that person.
That's... I don't even know how I feel about that.
It's productivity on steroids. Instead of interrupting a colleague, you query their twin. It frees people from constant interruptions while still making information accessible.
But doesn't that feel invasive? My digital clone is answering questions while I'm on vacation?
Tension. Proponents say it's liberating. Your twin handles routine queries while you focus on creative work. Critics say it's surveillance capitalism masquerading as efficiency.
Where do you fall?
I think it's powerful if consensual and transparent. If I control what my twin shares, when it's active, who can query it, then it's a tool. If my employer monitors my twin without my knowledge, that's dystopian.
Speaking of dystopian, What about deep fakes and impersonation?
Huge issue. Digital twin technology overlaps with deepfake tech. Companies like Tavis can create a video twin of you from just a 2-minute video sample, matching your appearance, voice, and expressions.
That's the stuff I'm scared of. I'm not ready for this.
Rightfully so. It can be used for good, personalized customer service, automated training videos, and multilingual content. But it can also be used for fraud, impersonation, and misinformation.
Okay, before I get too worried, let's talk about where this is all heading. What's the future of digital twins?
We're moving toward what researchers call embodied AI, where digital twins don't just observe or predict, but act. The intelligent acting digital twin I mentioned earlier is just the beginning.
Explain that again. What's the difference?
Traditional digital twins are passive. They monitor, analyze, and suggest. Intelligent acting. Digital twins can autonomously control their physical counterparts. A digital twin of a drone can fly the drone. A digital twin of a factory can adjust production.
Without human intervention?
They're designed to learn from humans and then operate independently. The research published in March 2025 shows these systems bridging the gap between virtual and physical.
That's exciting and terrifying.
Right? The applications in healthcare, disaster response, and autonomous vehicles are incredible. But we're talking about AI systems making real-world decisions with physical consequences.
What are your concerns regarding this technology?
I have 3 things that concerns me. 1, consent and ownership. Who controls your digital twin? Can it be used without your permission? 2, privacy and security. Digital twins contain more personal data than anything we've ever created. One breach could expose everything about you. 3, inequality. If only wealthy people can afford personal health twins, or only big corporations can afford factory twins, we're creating a 2-tier system.
What needs to happen to address those concerns?
Regulation, definitely, but also technical standards, how twins are built, secured, shared, and most importantly, public education. People need to understand what digital twins are, how they're used, and what rights they have.
Are you optimistic?
Cautiously, yes. The potential is enormous. Digital twins could revolutionize medicine, make cities more livable, prevent industrial accidents, and even help us understand climate change.
But
But we need to get the ethics right now, while the technology is still developing. Once digital twins are everywhere, it'll be too late to set guardrails.
okay. Final question. Will we have digital twins?
You probably already do, in some form. Every time you interact with AI, your Google Maps location history, your fitness tracker, your social media profile, you're feeding data that creates a digital shadow of you.
That's not quite the same as a full digital twin, though.
Not yet, but companies are working on it. Within 5 to 10 years, having a personal digital twin will be as common as having a smartphone.
And we'll use them for...
Health monitoring, for sure. Productivity assistance. Maybe even dating. Your twin meets their twin to see if you're compatible before the first date.
That's horrifying. And I hope that last scenario never happens.
Look, the technology itself is neutral. It's a tool. Whether it enhances human flourishing or enables new forms of control depends on the choices we make today.
On that cheerful note, thanks for walking us through this. It's been mind-bending.
My pleasure. And guess what? Your digital twin would have asked better questions.
Touché. But I disagree.
That's it for today. If you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe to Technically You and drop a comment. So are you ready for your digital twin?
And as always, stay safe and stay curious.